never have relationships at workplace or classroom, and you most of you guys are like, oh, that means that I should never have relationships because most of you guys are just looking for a mate at your workplace or your college classrooms or your school classrooms, right? Now majority of you guys who are doing that have always been single. Honestly, that might be bitter to you, but that's what is happening, because you do not know what happens after. Because you like that girl or you like that boy or whatever, you want to get together and you're like, oh, it would be so awesome, yay, great. But what happens inside a relationship is not very pretty, because when you really get into a relationship, you have fights, right? And and those fights a lot of times unfortunately end up with a breakup, right? And when that happens, what's going to happen in your workplace or your classroom, man? Sometimes it becomes so awkward, and I've seen this happen so many times. Now one of them actually leaves the job, which generally happens when we are talking about professionals. And generally the person who is going to leave the job is also the person who remains single, and the other person finds another person. Right? It's the brutal dynamics of relationships talked by Talk 4712. You must believe me, or wait until you see it in front of your eyes. The other problem of pursuing someone romantically in a workplace or a classroom, whether it be school or college, is that you just killed professionalism right there. You're not professional, man. If you want to get into a romantic domain, you cannot stay in the professional domain. It's not going to happen. This is a bigger problem if you are working professional. Now imagine working with someone next to your desk. She is, let's say, taking an example of a guy. She's having a desk right there. Now you want to go out on a date with her, right? So you are obviously talking in that manner. Now, only two things can happen, right? One, she wants to do that too. And two, she doesn't, all right? And once she doesn't, you yourself will become super awkward from the next day. And what are you going to talk about? Because you two know where you were going. You two know that, right? But now you two also know that that's not happening. And what if she goes out on a date with someone else, man? Right? Now that is why you just slaughtered professionalism over there, because you two are never going to be professional ever again. Just like you two are never going to be in a relationship. So it becomes super awkward, man. Understand what happens after. Just like, see, everything is so much related. Just like when you look at a goal that you want to accomplish, at a task that you want to do, you look only about the positives, right? And you want to pursue a person romantically and develop a relation, you only think about the positive. Oh, nice. We are going to spend time together doing, interesting stuff like going out on a date to have coffee, after that, dinner, and after that, you know what goes, right? So you only think about good things. But what if you get into a fight? What if she finds out that you are such an a-hole, man? What if you find that she's completely out of her mind? And that's the thing about relationship. Like once you get into it, you understand that we kind of come into an agreement with each other's limitation. Nobody is perfect over here. And especially that's something that I've talked about a long time ago. The initial part of a relationship is highly, highly unstable, man. Because two-person, man, it is the most difficult thing to coexist. Like two different people are so different, man. They're so different. I do not know how the hell God made us all, but each and every one of us is so different. So different. You can find similarities, but even those similarities, you can find differences. And when two people have to coexist, live together like one, तो जिसमें एक jar type, then that is extremely difficult, man. Right? So there will be fluctuations, there will be like arguments and stuff like that. And if the other person is not ready to accept your limitations or compromise a little bit here and there, and then that ends up into a breakup. and then you go next day into the same office and you two are not talking. Man, I'm not saying all these stuff without first making these mistakes, by the way, if you know that I do not talk about things that I do not have experience in. I never talk about like going to the moon, man, because because I don't have experience in that. So uh I think that it is a giant mistake. Now, also, what if I'm in love with her, Ashish? What if she's in love with me? What do you want us to stay away just because we happen to have the same job? Kind of, yeah. Kind of, that's what I'm trying to say. Hey man, this is what most people don't do. Most people do not look for anybody out of their workplace or their college. Have you ever tried that? That there's a world outside your workplace and college as well. Until unless you have never done that, don't tell me that I have found love in my workplace or my classroom. Okay? Because that's not love, man. All right? How do you know that? So whatever you need to do, you need to look outside as well. Inside is the last case scenario. Now there has been instances, obviously. I think there are more examples of people finding relationships at their workplace. They get married, they lead a good life. It's all well and good, but I still think that is not worth those moments where it's going to get super awkward. Now obviously, like I am a very open-minded lad, so let me know down in the comment section what you think. I do not have much more to say in that. I think I've expressed myself well enough.